Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. By now, many of you are saying, "Where are your glasses?" If you've seen me before, you're wondering about that. I have them here. I need them. If you were really, really far away, I could see every detail about you. But up close, I'm having a hard time with my own self. More importantly, if I focus on this, in a few minutes, this eye is going to be around here. So I really need to keep this eye kind of coming this way. Anyway, someone contacted me to let me know that I had a spot in my eye, and I said, "Yeah, it's pigment. It's common among people of Native American descent, and I am African, Native American, and actually some Irish, a good percentage, which is really shocking." Anyway, um, so they said, "Oh, well, do you get it checked? Because you should get it checked." And I said, "Yeah, when I get my eyes examined, I get it checked. They take a picture of it to make sure that it's not growing or changing or anything like that." And so the person wrote back a little bit perturbed, and they were like, "Well, I'm glad you're checking it out. And I'm glad that I told you about something that's not nothing." But I think they were a little bit upset because I said, "Do you think I really don't know what's in my eye?" And so they were a little bit upset about my response. And they said, "Well, sorry for telling you about something that's nothing." And I said, "No, it's not nothing. It's pigment." I find it amazing, absolutely amazing, that when we don't focus on our own stuff, we can focus so intently on everyone else's. Let me say it this way. If you would focus on your own strengths, you wouldn't be so quick to see everyone else's flaws. What happens is when we're dealing with our own stuff or whatever, and we can't control it, we try to control others. I was beyond angry to read about Amy Cooper, the woman in New York who accused the birder, said she was going to call the police on the birder, and then now it's found out that she did make another call, a second call, and said that he had attacked her. Now, I don't know what was going on in her life, and I'm not spending a lot of time to try to figure it out. He asked her to leash her dog, that the dog was running through brush where, the birds and the things, live and grow and have their being, and that there is a symbiotic relationship between all of nature. And she didn't want to. And so for that, she called the police and said he had attacked her. Whatever was going on in her life that she couldn't control, she looked for a way to control someone else and to weaponize her tears in such a way that it would work in her favor and could harm him. My mother had a saying, and I try to make it a policy to never cuss in public, but this statement doesn't make sense otherwise. She would say, "What I eat won't make you shit." My mother was tough. In other words, what I do has no effect on your body, your well being, your life. And yet we seek to control the life of someone else with what we do. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. And you won't be so inclined to see the flaws or the whims or the wills or whatever of somebody else. If your life tumbles so far out of control that it forces you to go against someone instead of with nature, who's the animal? I think we're going to get there. I really do. This is not false hope or positive thinking. This is people who are seeing and they are saying and they're joining in and they're saying enough. There are some studies on weight discrimination, and they point out that when you look at someone else's weight with disdain, like, look at her, look how big she is, that you internalize that disdain and you send it back towards yourself. And I think we do the same thing with race. I think we do the same thing with different abilities. I think we do the same thing with a spot in somebody else's eye. If you have a problem with someone else's, what you call flaws, you will be hyper focused on your own. Look at your strengths, and others will see yours too. I love you. I do.